when we talk about segmentation, I think people immediately in their mind think like naming conventions or stuff like that. But in reality, segmentation is more about keyword prioritization. So if you create a campaign and you put 500 keywords on it, what happens? 3 to 5 of those keywords get 90% of the spend. So if that consistently happens, then why are people still making campaigns with lots of keywords in it? Well, it's because they don't know how to segment. So some of the basic segmentation rules include don't mix your match types with broad and exact and stuff like that. I don't really care about that particular one. I mean, maybe sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. It's cleaner for sure, but at the end of the day, I've seen it violated just fine. But what I do think is a hard and fast rule is if you add more than 5 keywords to a campaign, only 5 of those keywords are going to get 80 to 90% of the spend. That seems to legitimately scale no matter how many keywords you add, it's still that basic stands still happens. So that creates what's called cannibalization. So keyword cannibalization means that if you have more than 5 good keywords, only 5 of those keywords are going to get good impressions. So this is a limitation of sales that you can cause or self-inflict if you don't have more campaigns created to segment out each of these subsets of keywords. So, for example, I could have this tumbler right here, and I could have stainless steel tumbler as one keyword. I could have tumbler as another keyword. I could have gifts for men as a third keyword. First of all, I'd probably separate the gift keywords around from the generic keywords, but let's pile them in for the sake of this particular exercise. But right around keyword 5, I would just limit it and I'd hard cold stop it. Now, a lot of PPC softwares will do something even more granular where they'll do one keyword per campaign. So some of the most prolific PPC automation softwares make upwards of 10,000 campaigns. That's insanity because you can't like manually grasp what the hell is going on in the account at that sort of level, but it technically works through automation. Now, I recently took over one of these accounts 2 weeks ago, and within the first week, we grew the sales directly from ads by $130,000 a week. Now that number, if you times that on a monthly and an annual basis, is in the millions of dollars. So in 1 week, we made an account 3, 4 million more dollars in annual revenue. And by the way, the ACOS stayed the same. So a lot of times people are like, oh, everybody needs PPC automation. I don't believe that. I think there's a time and place for it. You know, there's some nice things to say about PPC automation, lowering down ACOS. But I do think from a methodology standpoint, a pilot is critical to strategically make decisions. I don't think you can go to AI today, whether it's on PPC automation, whether it's on SEO, whether it's on strategy and business information. You have to have a human pilot. And even, you know, what was that cartoon show as a kid? We got Baloo driving the plane. There's an episode where the robots are out competing Baloo because they don't have to sleep, but then pirates hit, and then Baloo has to take control of the plane again and save the day. That is what we're talking about here, right? Like the human pilot, which has its own deficiencies, can overcome many of these deficiencies through strategic guidance and piloting from an overarching strategy point. You know, I don't want to crap too much on PPC automation, but I think it's germane to the topic in the sense that overtly relying upon a black box and hoping it's going to save you is insufficient in 2024. And taking over an account and throwing some manual campaigns up to be able to grow an account $3 million in a year in the course of 1 week of effort is a
Yeah.
case example of that.